Well, thanks to all of you for being here, and thanks to our speakers and those who have given us, I think, some good rational thought on this public land debate. This is the beginning. This is certainly not the end of it, but it's something that we need to, in fact, continue on with. Let me just summarize by saying that private land ownership has been the cornerstone for freedom in this country and economic opportunity. It's one of the blessings we've had as a country when we came here and had, for the first time in a universal way, the ability to own our own land. And loss of that ownership, in fact, takes away freedom and liberty to the public and the people. Federal control of our public lands has put us at a distinct disadvantage compared to other states. The example has been given of North Dakota, which I think is a stark comparison to what happens when the federal government actually did dispose of the land, and what they did in North Dakota and what has not happened here with a lack of disposition of the land. As our population continues to grow as a fast-growing state, that disadvantage becomes more and more a stark reality. It's like a farmer who has a piece of land that 70% of it's taken out of production. And that's maybe okay, we can get by as the family is small, but as the family continues to grow and multiply, it becomes increasingly more difficult to have economic opportunity if some of the land's taken out of production. That's what's happened to Utah. And for us today, the big issue, I think for a lot of us, it's a common discussion in political circles. How are we going to fund our education? We have a fast-growing state with a lot of students. How are we going to fund it? It's been mentioned that we're $2.2 billion short of the national average. It's easy for some to say, well, just raise taxes. But in order to do that, you'd have to double our income tax rate in order to raise that kind of revenue. And in doing so, it would devastate our economy. It would certainly destroy family budgets. And in fact, we'd go from being the best place in America to do business to the worst place in America to do business. So that's not an answer. That's just political rhetoric. This is something with some substance. I think all recognize that the status quo, for whatever reason that we've gotten to this point, is not sustainable and ought to be changed and modified. I'm compelled to sign this legislation today because the status quo is not acceptable. There needs to be the opportunity for Utah to come in and have some balance in the management of our public and private lands and be on the same kind of equal footing that other states in America are on. Again, for our economic opportunities, and particularly if we're going to be able to fund education. I think, as Congressman Bishop pointed out, it's not a coincidence that 10 out of the 12 public land states are below the national average when it comes to public education funding. So with that, this is the first step of a long journey. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be, in fact, difficult. We have some education to do and some awareness. This legislation will help us shed that light on this discussion and hopefully bring some rational thought to the process. In that process, I'm going to invite all Western states to participate. That means Democrats as well as Republicans working together to see if we cannot find the appropriate balance when it comes to the management of public lands that will give us an optimized effort to grow economically and to fund education. It's a difficult fight. This is the first step. But I'm here to tell you it's a fight worth having. So with that, we'll adjourn to the table. I'll sign the legislation. We thank you for your attendance. We'll invite our dignitaries to come. Talking about balance here, aren't we? Okay, this is House Bill 148, Transfer of Public Lands Act and related study. Chief sponsor Ken Ivory, Senate sponsor Wayne Niederhauser. That's one. This is the ceremonial copy, which I'm also signing. which I'll now present to Representative Ken Ivory. Ken, where are you? On your left. On my left? How did you get on my left? Wayne, I'll give you the ceremonial pen. Okay. It's not special. We're kind of fiscally conservative state, so we don't have it too expensive. And this is the one that needs to be enrolled. So this is the official copy. I'll do that for safekeeping. And with that, we'll adjourn. Again, we thank everybody's attendance, and we'll be available for the press after. So, again, thanks to one and all.